Hey everybody, it's Lorenzo from GamesRadar.com checking out Strike Suit Zero, and I'm here with...
I'm Ben Smith. I'm the community manager at Born Ready Games in Guildford in the UK.
Cool, how you doing?
I'm doing very well.
All right,
a bit sleepy after PAX, but I'm all good.
All right, so what are we looking at today?
Okay, so this is Strike Suit Zero. It's a game we've been developing to really bring back space combat. It's a genre that's kind of died out in recent years. You talk to our guys in the studio and they're really inspired by things like Wing Commander, Free Space, Freelancer, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. And you know, there's no game similar to that out there at the moment for those guys to play. So they figured to themselves, you know, we're game developers, we're going to make that game, we're going to bring back space combat, we're going to make it relevant again. So that's what we're playing here. Now, in doing that, what we've done is we've made the ship, we've given it the ability to transform. So the ship can transform into a mech. You can't actually see it at this point in the demo now because we need some enemies to kill. The transformation's based on a flux meter in the top of the screen there, which you'll see. As you kill enemies, that bar will build up and you'll be able to transform and start doing some real damage. So you'll see here, once we've locked on, once we've built that flux bar a little bit, we'll be able to show you what I'm talking about. So there you go, a couple of missiles landing, the flux is filling. So now if Lorenzo was to press A on the gamepad there you go, he's in mech mode. So in mech mode, you're a lot more powerful, you're a lot more maneuverable, and generally you're just a lot more badass. So, you know, here you've got multiple lock-ons, you're locking onto multiple enemies, and firing off a barrage of missiles all at once. So we've got that resource bar there to make sure people don't, you know, that they respect the ship and respect the suit. But on top of that, if you're killing enough enemies and doing enough damage, you can effectively stay in mech mode as long as you like. If you're stringing together those kills well enough, you can use the mech whenever you like. It's all about, you know, building that combo and respecting the flux bar there. Our mech is designed by a renowned Japanese mecha designer called Junji Akobo. So he's done things like Steel Battalion, Infinite Space in the DS. He also did the Appleseed series as well, if anybody's familiar with that. So for mech fans, you know, he's quite a big deal. And he has a really functional approach to mecha design. So you'll notice when you transform there, it's as it would happen in real life. It's not like a Michael Bay transform out of nothing approach to transformation. It's very functional, and it's exactly how it would unfold in real life if this craft ever existed. You know, on top of that, in terms of pedigree, we've also managed to enlist the help of Paul Ruskay, who did the Homeworld soundtrack. Obviously, we're not similar to Homeworld in terms of gameplay. Obviously, it's got the whole space thing going on, but Homeworld was slightly different. But in terms of mood and atmosphere and setting, Paul Ruskay was the perfect guy to bring on board and to help him score the game. So the soundtrack's something we're really, really proud of, and we're hoping to put that out on top of the game as well, so look out for that. So yeah, as I say, we've got Junji on one hand, Paul Ruskay on the other, and ourselves, a British developer. There's a real fusion of cultures. You've got a real, you know, east meets west fusion going on, which is really nice from a design point of view. When you look at space as an environment, it's very featureless, it's dark, it's desolate, there's not much to it. And our artists have done a really good job of bringing colour and vibrancy and, you know, a lot of variation level to level. So, I mean, looking at the skybox here, I think you'll get a sense of that. This is my favourite looking skybox in the game, actually. This is taking place above Earth. You're in a battle to protect your cruiser here, and you can see Earth below you, and I think it looks great. So it's one of my favourites. So the game itself takes place across 13 missions. The one you're playing now actually won't be in the main game. It'll be available as additional content, perhaps. But you know, so this isn't in the finished game. This is at the moment it's just for PAX. So we haven't got plans for this mission just yet. So 13 missions, each about 15 to 20 minutes long, but we really want to push the notion of replayability. So you'll have secondary objectives in the game that you can complete. And so say, for example, you have a secondary objective to protect a cruiser in your fleet. If you fail to do that, you might find at the end of the game that Earth has been destroyed. So Earth has been destroyed, sorry, the New York City has been destroyed. Ultimately, if you were to fail all your secondary objectives, you know, Earth would be destroyed. So it's all about doing the best you can with these secondary objectives and making sure Earth is in the best possible state at the end of the game. So, you know, it's all about saving Earth and doing the best you can. So this is the finale or demo coming up. You've got 3 enemy frigates that are spawned in, and the idea is to make sure they don't attack your enemy cruiser too much, make sure it survives. So the idea is to take out the missiles here. Yeah, doing a pretty good job of that. So once you've got some breathing space, you can go and take on the frigates themselves, which are the enemy capital ships at the end there. These ships, unlike the fighters you've been fighting up until this point, they have multiple structural weaknesses, so you can choose to take out individual parts of their structures. You have massive ships later in the game where you can take out their engines, their turrets. You can take out individual points and immobilize them, render them useless in space. So the idea here, one of the tactics I like to push forward, is to build up a bit of flux, get in there close to the frigates, and let off as many missiles as you can. The frigates are very powerful, so the idea is to spend as little time hanging about there as possible, because they're pretty lethal. So I think here we're going to build up a bit of flux, which is the key resource that you need to do well in this game and deal some damage. We've got a score system in here, so at the end of each level you get given a rank based on how well you've done, how many enemies you've killed, how quickly you've completed the level, whether you've killed the enemies or your allies have. Because a big thing for us is the fact that you're one ship in, as a part of many. You're just one ship in a fleet. So your allies will take out enemies, as much as you will. But if you want that big score, you want to be hogging the kills as much as possible. You want to be dealing all the damage. So flux bar is pretty much full here. So good plan is to get in close to the frigates and start really taking them out. Once you're in mech mode, you've probably noticed already, but you've got multiple lock-ons. As in ship mode, you can only fire missiles at one enemy at a time, but at the moment you'll see you've got multiple lock-ons there, and that barrage of missiles gets fired, which is really the peak of the gameplay. You really start doing some heavy damage. Obviously, when you're in a dogfight, it's handy for taking out multiple enemies. In an instance like this, it's really good for taking out big ships and attacking all their weaknesses at once. But missiles, enemy torpedoes being fired here again. Got to take those out first, because if your cruiser dies, this mission will all be over. You've got your cruiser's health in the top left of the screen there. Generally, you want to be keeping an eye on that as much as possible, because if it gets too low, you're going to have to start rethinking your strategies a little bit. Some people choose to hang back, because the cruiser will take out the enemy frigates if you let it. You can hang back and not put yourself in the firing line, but where's the fun in that? So we're pretty close now. We've got one enemy frigate left. You can see his health in the bottom, well, the top left of the screen, but the bottom section of the screen. The enemy, the allied cruiser will start helping you out, but you want to try and get the finishing kill on it, because you'll get more points at the end of the level. Nearly there, yeah. What about those multiple lock-ons? So you notice as well, you can dash about in mech mode. You can use it for defensive strategies just as much as offensive. If you notice you've got some missiles incoming, the screen will let you know. The UI will tell you when you're being targeted, so you can really dash out the way. I use it just as much as a defense as an offense. So it's a multi-purpose craft.
Cool.
And yeah,
looks like I got him.
Yeah, you did. I'm interested to see your score here, because we played earlier and your score was pretty good. And I think you might have beat your time from last time, so I'm interested to see how you do it. So as I say, it breaks down based on how many enemies you kill, which type of enemy, your time. 7 minutes 10 is pretty good. I think earlier you were 650 something?
Yeah, 653.
So only slightly slower, but it all depends on which enemies you've killed.
I think I got that.
You were 68,000 last time, so you beat your score, but not quite enough for platinum.
Almost a platinum. Awesome.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. All right, so when can we expect to see the game, and for what platforms?
Yes, so you'll expect the game this fall. We'll be launching on PC first, so Steam and Origin and other digital platforms, and then we'll be hitting the consoles in early 2013.
Excellent. Okay, everybody keep your eye out for Strike Suit Zero, and thanks a lot for showing us the game.
No worries, thanks very much.